volunteered at this cat shelter for over 2 years. It's a small place that's a little run down, but it does the job, and we are really grateful to have such a space to begin with. As a hands-on shift volunteer, I do everything from feeding and cleaning to playing and medicating. The responsibility was a little nerve-wracking at first. I didn't want to forget something important, but I quickly realised that I was never alone in the work. When you first start volunteering, you get trained by someone who knows the routine like it's their own, and there are constant reminders throughout the shelter. One of my favourite things has been meeting new people on shifts. In my experience, shelters will try and keep a regular schedule as much as possible, but sometimes you cover someone else's shift or get someone new put on yours for the week, and you get to talk for the whole shift. You already have one thing in common because you're there cleaning up after cats that aren't your own, and I have yet to meet someone disagreeable. I doubt I will, to be honest. I don't think you can in this scenario. I love learning about how people have come to volunteer at our shelter. I've met young children who will help parents and get excited to play with the new cats, people who have come to fulfill a requirement for a competition or job and then stayed because they fell in love with the atmosphere, and even some who have been at the shelter since it first opened, who now cut up rags to sell and raise money for the shelter because they can no longer clean and help feed the cats. Truly, it seems like there is a way for anyone to help out. If you don't want to deal with shift work, you could foster cats, helping those who might not feel comfortable in the shelter or need some extra snuggles at the end of the night. You could donate, whether that is old toys, a couple of dollars, or food. You could even help with the social media side of things, helping get the word out about cats that are ready to be adopted without ever stepping a foot in the shelter. We have people who run a bunch of different platforms, from Facebook to adoption sites and our own website. I help out as much as I can with some of the social media stuff too, but that's not a requirement for every volunteer. I've just found that I like making content and sharing what I've learned, because every incredible fact or experience I witness feels like a waste if it only goes as far as myself. As for the actual shift work, the cleaning is pretty simple too. You sweep and mop and make sure their litters are fresh, and then you get to play with them. We have a bunch of different enclosures at our shelter. Some are big, great for the playful cats that love to go a little crazy at times. Others are small, important for recovery after our cats undergo their surgery to get desexed, because for all pets, desexing is healthcare. Some enclosures have special spots they can hide in, which allows some of the more timid cats to feel safe. Every now and then we get a cat with a bad past that depends on these types of enclosures to feel safe. Recently, we've had a cat like this at our shelter. His name is Chris, and when he was first at the shelter, he wouldn't come out of one of our cage's hiding spots. He came from the pound and was really scared, not letting anyone come near him. He would hiss and swipe if we got too close, not because he was a bad cat or anything, but because all he knew was that people coming close meant getting hurt in some way. When a cat like this comes in, volunteers aren't forced to do anything they're not comfortable with, but it's always best if we put on thick gloves and try to help get the cat used to people being around them. The aggression can be worse when cats, specifically male cats, haven't been desexed. This was the case with Chris, and as it turned out, he also had a bad tooth infection, so no wonder he was so grumpy. It's been almost 6 months since Chris first came into our shelter, and since then he has been desexed, treated for the tooth infection, and gotten used to having volunteers around. He now greets us at the cage door, loves a good scratch, and is very sweet when the kittens come and try to disturb him. Chris is only one of the many cats I've been lucky enough to see become comfortable, confident, and open to love and affection again. Every time I see him, I can't help but think if this is how much progress he's made at the shelter, imagine how much progress he's going to make when he has a stable, loving family of his own. Overall, I think that even though there are the odd unexpected messes or upset cats, volunteering has given me more than I've ever put into it. To me, it's a reminder of how impactful seemingly small actions can be, and no matter our interests, situations, or abilities, there's always something we can do to help even the smallest of others.